Hi, we're diving into a topic that might surprise you, the truth about the world's happiest countries. Because here's something we all do. We idealize faraway places, imagining them as these magical, almost utopian lands. But when you peel back the layers and look closely, reality can be startlingly different. That's why today, we're lifting the veil on some of the places people often look to with admiration. You'll find that there's beauty, yes, but also chaos, even in the happiest corners of the world. What we hope to achieve in this conversation is to give you a deeper appreciation for your own home while also broadening your understanding of other people's homes. We all know that the grass often seems greener on the other side, but what's it really like? Let's look at some hard facts. The 5 happiest countries, according to the World Happiness Report, are usually Finland, Denmark, Switzerland, Iceland, and the Netherlands. Every year, the United Nations Sustainable Development Solutions Network releases this comprehensive study, and it's not based on simple feel-good questions. This report looks at everything from income, social support, and life expectancy to freedom, corruption levels, and more. It measures real-world factors that contribute to the overall quality of life. Here's what's interesting. You'll notice all these countries are in Northern Europe, and they're relatively small in terms of population. Iceland, for example, has only around 356,000 people. Finland and Denmark have just over 5 million each, while Switzerland and the Netherlands have around 8 and 17.5 million, respectively. So, small populations in close-knit societies. But let's break it down, starting with the number 1 happiest country, Finland. Finland's education system is something to admire. Their education isn't just about hitting the books. It's about nurturing creativity, fostering critical thinking, and making sure students feel supported and happy. The focus is on equal opportunity, and every child gets access to an education that suits their individual strengths and interests. Finland also has generous unemployment benefits, plenty of support to get people back on their feet, parental leave, and allowances for families. High-quality, free health care is the standard, and salaries, even at lower levels, are competitive. If you fall on hard times, the welfare system steps in. Denmark follows a similar path, with an emphasis on building a strong sense of community from a young age. Children learn early on that it's important to take care of one another. Like Finland, Denmark offers free health care, a solid social welfare system, and generous parental leave, 32 weeks of it shared between parents. You can already see the common thread running through these countries, right? Switzerland, Iceland, and the Netherlands follow suit with their own versions of these support systems. There's a lot of focus on providing quality education, competitive salaries, social safety nets, long parental leaves, and, of course, healthcare that doesn't send you spiraling into debt. It's these factors that collectively lift the quality of life to a level that consistently ranks them among the happiest countries on Earth. But here's the kicker. None of this comes cheap. The way these countries fund all this support is through high taxes. In Finland, for example, taxes can range from 6 to 32%, depending on your income. Denmark's taxes? They can reach up to 56%. That's more than half your salary going to the government. In Switzerland, the tax rate for high earners hits around 40%, and in Iceland, it can go as high as 46%. The Netherlands is similar, with progressive tax rates that take a chunk out of your paycheck. Now, while no one loves paying high taxes in these countries, it's easier to see where the money goes. People know their taxes fund a system that not only supports others, but could one day support them as well. There's a sense of community, a feeling that you're not just paying into a faceless bureaucracy, but into a system that enriches the lives of people you know, your neighbors, your friends. These are tight-knit countries where it's harder to get lost in the crowd. It's easier to look out for one another, both socially and economically. Contrast that with countries that have populations in the hundreds of millions or even billions. In larger nations, the sense of community often gets lost in the sheer size of the population. Divisiveness creeps in, and people retreat into smaller communities or echo chambers where their views aren't challenged. It's harder to maintain that feeling of connection when you're one of millions. But even with all these advantages, not everyone stays in these happy countries. Why? Well, there's something no government policy can change: the weather. Winters in these northern European countries are brutal. In Finland, for example, there are parts of the country where the sun doesn't rise above the horizon for months during the winter. Imagine going through weeks of near-total darkness. The summer brings the midnight sun, where it stays light well past midnight. But the long, dark winters are tough on many. Denmark and Iceland have similarly long, dark winters, with cold temperatures that last for months. Switzerland, with its stunning landscapes, might sound ideal, but the cost of living is sky-high. Yes, the quality of life is exceptional, but you'll pay dearly for it. So here's the takeaway. There's no such thing as a perfect country. Every place has its beauty and its challenges. The countries that rank highest on the happiness scale aren't perfect, but what sets them apart is the way their people view and treat one another. It's not just about what the government provides. It's about the sense of community that's fostered from a young age. People aren't left to fend for themselves. There's a system in place that works and everyone contributes to it, knowing that it benefits them all in the long run. But even in these countries, happiness is a personal, dynamic experience. People still face challenges, personal struggles, and ups and downs, just like anywhere else. At the end of the day, a country can create the conditions for happiness, but it's up to you to cultivate it. Wherever you are, remember that happiness is something you build day by day. And that's it for today, my friend. We hope this gave you some fresh perspective, and we'll be back with more soon. Until then, keep building that happiness wherever you may be.